deep within the ancient caves of Qumran, buried beneath the scorching sands of the Judean desert, archaeologists uncovered a collection of fragmented scrolls that threatened to rewrite the entire spiritual history of humanity. Among these priceless relics was a text so profound, so incredibly detailed in its description of cosmic anomalies and ancient forbidden events, that the early architects of the canonical Bible made a deliberate, calculated decision to completely scrub it from official scripture. This is the Book of Enoch. Unlike standard religious texts that focus purely on human morality and earthly historical accounts, Enoch presents a terrifying, highly advanced cosmological narrative. It details a pre-flood era, where the boundary between our physical dimension and the divine realm was violently breached. For centuries, this masterpiece of ancient literature was systematically hunted down, suppressed, and branded as dangerous apocrypha by institutional authorities. Only the Ethiopian Orthodox Church dared to preserve it intact. But why would an ancient text written by the great-grandfather of Noah be deemed too hazardous for the public to read? What forbidden history of our planet is locked inside its pages? Today, we are stepping back into the shadows of Mount Hermon to uncover the true story of the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the forbidden knowledge that triggered a global cataclysm. To understand the immense threat that the Book of Enoch poses to established religious institutions, we must examine its central, highly disruptive narrative: the descent of the Watchers. According to the text, a specialized cadre of 200 powerful angelic entities, designated as the Watchers, made a conscious, unified decision to abandon their assigned celestial stations. Led by an imposing, enigmatic commander named Samyaza, these otherworldly beings descended upon the towering peak of Mount Hermon. This was not a peaceful diplomatic mission, nor was it authorized by the supreme divine architecture. It was a direct, coordinated insurrection. Upon arriving in our physical realm, these entities bound themselves by a mutual, dark oath to execute a plan that would permanently alter the biological and technological trajectory of the human race. They observed the daughters of men, found them desirable, and chose to take them as wives. This physical union between highly advanced interdimensional entities and human women represents a massive, unauthorized cross-contamination of cosmic domains. The text explicitly details the names of these leaders and their specific operational roles in this global intervention. By depicting angelic beings not as perfect messengers, but as rebellious, autonomous forces capable of executing their own agendas on Earth, Enoch fundamentally shatters the traditional, sanitized image of the heavenly hierarchy. The physical transgression of the Watchers was only the first phase of their intervention. The true catalyst for the absolute destabilization of the ancient world was the unauthorized transfer of advanced, forbidden knowledge to humanity. The Book of Enoch provides a highly detailed, chilling inventory of exactly what these entities taught to primitive mankind. An entity named Azazel instructed humans in the fabrication of advanced weaponry, forging heavy metal swords, shields, and protective breastplates. He introduced the concepts of industrial metallurgy and the mining of deep earth resources. Simultaneously, he taught the art of deception through cosmetics, mirrors, and precious stones, fundamentally altering human social dynamics. Other prominent Watchers delivered specialized scientific curricula. Barakijal taught the intricate observation of the stars and astrology. Kokabel instructed on the movements of celestial constellations. Chuzakijal revealed the complex secrets of the clouds and meteorology, while Semjaza unlocked the forbidden understanding of root cuttings, magical incantations, and sophisticated genetic manipulation. Mankind went from a state of simple survival to possessing advanced technological and esoteric frameworks almost overnight. This sudden, unearned leap in capability completely corrupted the natural evolutionary balance of the planet. Humanity was given the keys to an immense power they lacked the spiritual maturity to control. As a direct consequence of the physical union between the fallen Watchers and human women, a terrifying new species was introduced into the global ecosystem, the Nephilim. Official canonical scriptures lightly gloss over these entities, briefly mentioning giants in the days of old. But the Book of Enoch provides a deeply horrifying, unvarnished description of their true nature and scale. These hybrid offspring were not merely exceptionally tall humans, they were colossal, anomalous titans that completely dominated the ancient pre-flood landscape. Driven by an insatiable, superhuman metabolism, the Nephilim quickly consumed the entirety of humanity's agricultural output. When the human populations could no longer sustain their immense appetite, these towering anomalies turned their aggression directly toward mankind. The text describes a harrowing era of systemic violence, where the Nephilim began to hunt humans, birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, eventually turning on one another in a state of absolute chaotic cannibalism. The physical earth itself groaned under the immense weight and relentless brutality of these anomalous apex predators. The biological purity of the planet had been completely hijacked. By detailing the existence of these violent, system-breaking giants, Enoch offers a perfectly logical yet incredibly terrifying context for why the ancient world descended into irreversible ruin. The ecosystem was collapsing under an alien footprint. The escalating horrors enacted by the Nephilim and the widespread corruption caused by the Watcher's forbidden technology triggered a cosmic crisis. As innocent human blood saturated the ancient soil, the collective despair of mankind reached the highest levels of the celestial realm. The Book of Enoch describes a dramatic, highly cinematic sequence where the archangels Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel look down from the heavens and observe the absolute devastation unfolding on Earth. They present the desperate cries of dying humanity directly to the supreme divine authority. The response is swift, absolute, and unsparing. The divine command bypasses all attempts at localized correction and decrees a total, system-wide reset of the terrestrial domain, the Great Deluge. But before the floodwaters are unleashed to scrub the biological slate clean, specific tactical directives are issued to neutralize the leaders of the rebellion. Raphael is commanded to bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into the absolute darkness of a jagged desert chasm known as Dudal, and cover him with heavy, rough stones until the ultimate day of judgment. Michael is instructed to confront Semyaza and his core commanders, forcing them to watch the violent destruction of their beloved Nephilim offspring before binding them securely in the deep, subterranean valleys of the earth for 70 generations. The ultimate cosmic imprisonment had officially begun. Caught squarely in the middle of this catastrophic dimensional conflict is Enoch himself, a mortal man of exceptional righteousness. He is selected by the supreme authority to act as an intermediary, delivering the harsh decree of eternal doom directly to the imprisoned Watchers. But Enoch's role extends far beyond delivering messages. The text details an awe-inspiring, surreal, interdimensional journey where Enoch is physically lifted into the heavens by majestic entities. He is taken on an immersive tour of the inner mechanisms of the cosmos, witnessing phenomena that sound remarkably like advanced theoretical physics and modern space exploration. He observes the massive elemental storehouses of the winds, the foundational pillars of the earth, and the precise mathematical pathways of the stars. Most terrifyingly, Enoch is brought to the literal edge of reality, viewing a desolate, chaotic void burning with massive columns of celestial fire. His angelic guides explicitly inform him that this terrifying liminal space serves as the ultimate cosmic prison for the stars and the host of heaven that transgressed the divine command. He sees the fallen entities bound in states of unimaginable agony, suspended in a timeless abyss. By documenting these highly complex cosmic structures, Enoch presents an advanced understanding of the universe that completely outpaces the primitive scientific frameworks of his era. With such an incredibly profound, logically consistent explanation for the pre-flood world, the question becomes absolutely inescapable. Why was the Book of Enoch so aggressively banned? During the formation of the official biblical canon in the 4th century, powerful religious councils, led by figures like Hilary of Poitiers and Jerome, systematically targeted the text for complete suppression. The official institutional justification was that its extreme antiquity made its exact authorship impossible to verify, and its explicit descriptions of fallen angels engaging in physical relations with humans were deemed highly inappropriate. However, independent theological researchers argue that the real motivation was deeply political and focused entirely on institutional control. The Book of Enoch presents a direct, unmediated relationship between a human being and the supreme architecture of the universe, completely bypassing the need for a formal priesthood or an organized religious empire. Furthermore, by revealing that advanced technology, industrial systems, and societal structures were originally introduced by malevolent entities, the text casts a deeply suspicious shadow over human worldly authority. Religious elites realized that endorsing a book that portrays advanced knowledge and earthly power structures as inherently corrupted by an alien influence would actively undermine their own absolute authority over the masses. The institutional campaign to erase Enoch from human memory was nearly successful. For over a millennium, the text was believed to be completely lost to Western civilization, existing only as a vague rumor referenced in surviving ancient quotes. But in the late 18th century, an intrepid Scottish explorer named James Bruce traveled deep into the remote highlands of Ethiopia and discovered that the ancient text had been perfectly preserved in the sacred Ge'ez language. He brought 3 complete copies back to Europe, instantly igniting a fierce academic firestorm. Skeptical mainstream scholars initially dismissed the manuscripts as clever medieval forgeries, refusing to accept that such a complex cosmological text could genuinely originate from deep antiquity. But the ultimate validation arrived in 1947, with the monumental discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in Qumran. Buried securely inside sealed ceramic jars were multiple ancient fragments of the Book of Enoch written in original Aramaic, dating back centuries before the birth of Christianity. This physical evidence completely shattered the arguments of mainstream critics. It proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that Enoch was highly revered and actively studied by ancient ascetic communities. The text was not a fabrication. It was an authentic, highly suppressed cornerstone of ancient historical lore that had miraculously survived the fires of institutional censorship. Perhaps the most compelling reason to study the Book of Enoch today lies in its striking relevance to our modern timeline. The very opening lines of the text explicitly state that Enoch's visions were not intended for his own ancient generation, but for a distant, elect generation that would live in the final days of global tribulation. The prophecies contained within its pages describe a cyclical nature of history, hinting that the anomalous conditions of the pre-flood world would eventually manifest once again before the ultimate conclusion of our era. As we observe the rapid, unchecked acceleration of modern scientific capabilities, the active pursuit of interdimensional physics, and the bold experimentation in genetic engineering, the ancient warnings of the Watcher's forbidden curriculum feel deeply unsettling. Are we actively crossing the exact same dangerous technological thresholds that triggered the total destruction of the pre-flood world? Furthermore, occult researchers suggest that the 70 generations of imprisonment decreed for Samyaza and his fallen cadres may be rapidly approaching their absolute expiration date. If these powerful, autonomous entities are eventually released from their subterranean confinement, humanity will once again face a profound, reality-breaking dimensional convergence. The hidden text acts as an urgent prophetic blueprint, deliberately preserved across millennia to prepare us for what is coming. The epic saga of the Book of Enoch stands as the ultimate testament to the enduring power of forbidden truth, an incredibly advanced cosmological record, chronicling the unauthorized intervention of interdimensional watchers and the violent reign of anomalous giants, is deliberately buried by human councils desperate to maintain absolute religious monopoly. Yet, the sands of the desert refuse to keep the secret. The rediscovery of these pristine ancient scrolls forces us to confront an uncomfortable, deeply fascinating alternative view of our planetary origins. We are left looking at the monolithic ruins scattered across the earth with entirely new eyes, recognizing the faint, lingering footprints of an ancient, highly advanced alien architecture. The canonical Bible gives us the ultimate spiritual destination, but Enoch reveals the terrifying, complex cosmic mechanics operating behind the scenes. As the boundaries between our physical reality and the unknown continue to blur in the modern age, the suppressed wisdom of Noah's great-grandfather provides the critical missing context we need to navigate the approaching paradigm shift. Thank you for exploring the deepest mysteries of ancient history with us here in the Archives of Holy Lore. What are your personal thoughts on the true identity of the Watchers? Drop your theories in the comments below. Ensure you are subscribed to the channel and never stop questioning the established narrative. Until next time.